Welcome to Own Your Dream Home. I'm Zahira and I'm thrilled to take you on a journey of turning your dream home into a reality.
In this series, we'll explore everything you need to know, speaking with experts across every field.
It is not just about the systems, it's about the experience.
To help you feel confident in building, designing, and owning the home you always imagined. Whether you're just starting out or well on your way, we're here to inspire and guide you. Let's make your dream home a reality.
And this is for every first-time homeowner, home buyer, or even if you're renovating your home. We're going to learn some stuff today because we're going to talk to Jose Atkinson of the Blueprint Management, and we're talking kitchens today. Jose, the kitchen is such an important place in the home. For me, it's probably my favorite spot. What is the most important thing from your perspective as somebody designing and advising? What's the first thing you look for or should look for?
My first question to you, very easy. Are you the one cooking? Is
Nope.
it the wife cooking?
Yep.
Is it the chef? Because all of
Wishful.
those will interact very differently, because then you want probably, if it's you cooking, you want to interact with your guests. You want to have this freedom of interacting with them and cooking at the same time. But if you have a chef cooking for you, or if it's the wife, do they want privacy whilst they cook? Because is the kitchen a mess or the kitchen in order? And those are very important. If I cook in my kitchen, it's impeccable. My husband goes, oh my gosh.
Well, that's like in my house, if my daughter cooks, her view is, I've done the cooking, somebody else does the washing up, and it looks like if Hurricane Beryl had just passed through the kitchen. So a lot of the design focuses around who's really doing the cooking. Now, outside of that, we've established that, but what about now the type of appliances? A kitchen, again, has all kinds of gadgets. You can go top of the line, you can go multiple different things. So what do you recommend in terms of, now let's talk maybe budget? Should we be talking budget now?
For sure, we need
Yeah.
to talk about budget. Once I know who's cooking, then we can sit down and do either an enclosed plan or an open plan. And then we will have a little bit more interaction with the person that is cooking to understand the flow, to understand how this person works, so that we do an easy access in between the oven, in between the sink and the fridge, so that the production is not messy and it's not all over the place. Then we go and dive in, and then as we go through the project, you can see almost like you're getting to a fine point where at the end we do the specification, so that you have cabinetries. I need to know what's the budget, so I know what kind of cabinetries to give you. What kind of countertop will depend on your budget. What kind of appliances will depend on your budget. So then we do the roundup at the end, and it's okay, well, with this budget, then we have this type of kitchen, we can do this project this way, that way, and then we can achieve and fine tune.
Can we specify and look at some of the elements? We did this in another one in the series where we looked at the costs, approximate costs of items, elements of the kitchen. What kind of budget should we be looking at? If you're a first-time homeowner, you're obviously working with a budget. May not be your final home, but you want it still to be your dream home and to experience it. What are we looking at? What should we have to make that kitchen experience wonderful?
Cabinetry is about $300 per square foot. If you have a big space, you have to think, oh my gosh, I'm going to fill that with all the cabinetry, and the countertop is give or take about $200 square foot. You could see that the budget is going much higher than a smaller bathroom. So you need to think probably more around $60,000, $70,000 to $100,000 to spend into a big kitchen. If you have a smaller kitchen, then you're lucky, because then the cabinetry gets reduced. This is your biggest cost. Your appliances, are you taking a baseline or are you taking a top of the line? Those will vary your budget, because I can give you a fridge for $5,000. I can give you a fridge at $50,000. So those, you see the variance there. It's extremely one to the other extreme. So you can have a few technicality there saying, okay, well, I don't have $500,000 for my kitchen, Jose. I'm more borderline of the 75,000. So then you get more reasonable. You choose appliances that will fit your budget. You will choose finishes that will fit your budget. And then you will have maybe less accessories. The accessories in the kitchen gets up quite quickly. So then you fine tune and you say, okay, well, I'm going to do a few accessories where my workstation will be, and then the others I will go a little bit more reasonable. There's a huge aspect of practicality in the layout where I really recommend for my client to the lower cabinet, instead of having just a shelf, you do a pull out. So then when you have your box of pots and pans underneath, you just pull it and it's right there. You don't need to bend over and go and dive in it. Those kind of little bits at the end makes your finishes look good, but the final product is so much more easier on the user, and then it will last you a much, much longer time as well.
So layout is very critical, both in terms of, as you mentioned, the bending, the stooping, finding stuff, accessibility, but also the flow of the kitchen.
The flow of the kitchen, you need to be efficient. So you want your dinner time to be on time, and therefore if you have to go at the end over there to get the sink, and then the stove is over here and the fridge is over there, then you lose a lot of time in between those steps. If you have everything in a nice little triangle and your efficiencies goes fast, then you can prepare a meal very rapidly, put it on the table, and enjoy the meal, not feeling like, oh, I'm so tired now because of all this running around in my kitchen.
Is lighting something terribly important in the kitchen?
Very much. You need to have a good lighting so that in your execution, in your production, you have a good set of lights. But then when you transit into your dining area, you need to be able to dim this down a little bit to emphasize and have this energy over your dining area and not so much into the cooking that is so bright. So changing the light atmosphere is a very important one, enabling the dimming, and then even you can have some little accent light under the cabinetries to get you this little dim kind of
softer lighting.
Yeah, at night, so that everything is dim in the house, but you still have a little bit. So if you're watching a movie and you go back in the kitchen, you don't need to open up all of these lights. You have this little dim light that gives you still that yellow glow that will cool you down before going to bed.
Well, that's quite an important point to remember. That softer lighting, that you just come out of a dark room, maybe even the last thing you want is to be hit with very bright lights, but having that softer lighting certainly helps a great deal. Jose Atkinson with the Dream Home. It sounds like we're putting together a really beautiful dream home, and as you heard, the budget can be quite minimal, a minimalist kind of budget that gives you all of the elements that you need, or if you really want to go all out and you have a bigger budget, you can also expand on that. Jose Atkinson of Blueprint Management with the Dream Kitchen today on how to design and execute your dream home.